Welcome back, Kivy or Kivy or uh yes. All right. So in this one, we're gonna be like just doing some things with the buttons. Yes. So this is what we have from the previous video, and also just to also just have that recap in terms of what we're trying to do here. Yeah, so we want to create something like this. As you can see, there's an icon, search box, also two buttons, which are basically, if you look at the color of these buttons, it's like kind of grayish, very light gray. And when you press them, you can see like a change in color. Yeah, so this is what we want to create. This is actually this is something actually which is quite simple to do, but at first it might seem very complicated. Yes, so let's go on and dive in and just try to do it. I think the very first thing we can do is just add text to our buttons, which is quite simple. So we do already have our buttons right here, so we might just as well as put in the text. Simple stuff. What we have, so we have recent. All right. And then we have, okay, what did I do there? What did I do? Okay, and then we have contacts. Yeah, all right. So this what, oh, look at me, what am I doing? Contacts. Yes. So I think that there's nothing wrong with that code. So if you go on and run that, what do we see? Bang, there we go. We have our nice awesome buttons, recent and contacts there. So we want to make it a bit bold. So just to like just to make our text a bit bold there, so we can just say bold, true, and then also bold, true. Yes, okay. Let's go on and save that. Yes. Okay. All right. So now we can see that the buttons are bold. And also, if you saw there, what the color of the buttons, we want to change it to green, right? So we want to change it to green. So that should be our leave this as 1. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. And then also just to also make this one green as well. If you want to, you can also maybe change the color to a color that you prefer. Feel free to do that, but in this case we want to make this green. Let's check it out. Yes, okay, awesome. But now the question is, how do you change the background of the button now to like a very light gray or white? Like, how do you do that? So there is there is like a background color for the button, but I can assure you that changing the background color of the button, it's not really an effective way of getting the best of colors. But because, like, believe it or not, the buttons that that you can see here on the screen, their color is actually white already. Like, it's white already. Let me just show you. So if we go ahead here and say, let's say background color, so the background color here will be the background color of the button. So let's say we want the color to be white, right? So we want the color to be white, right? So which means we want one of the buttons to be white. So what you will notice is that there won't be any difference in the buttons. Nothing will actually change. Yes, nothing changed. Is it because background color doesn't work? Actually, it's not the case. It is working. It's just that the button is already white. It's already white. So the most effective way of changing the color of a button, it is not actually by changing the background color of the button. Because let's say, for instance, we wanted to make it red. Like, let's say you wanted like a nice red button, for instance. So what you would do is, usually you will think that you'll just maybe, just make the color red and then go on and save it. Yeah, and then you will, you know yeah, after you've done that and this, and now you'll just expect like a very nice red button. But check that out, it's barely red. It's barely red. So if you want to change the color of your button, this is how I would recommend that you do it. um, I will elaborate on it on the next maybe tutorials in the future, but the best way to make a nice color for your button is actually by changing the background. Yes. So let's say I wanted a red button. So what I would do is I will make the background red and then make the background color of the button uh like decrease the opacity of it. By decreasing the opacity, what I mean is that um, basically I can make the background color like invisible. This is by changing the last value there. So it's 1. So if I change it to 0, what will happen is that it means that the background color will have 0 opacity. So let's go on and save. So what will happen now is that the button will be completely white. Yes, you see, as you can see, actually, now it's completely white, meaning that there's no background color at all. Yes, but the problem with this is that when you press on the screen, let's say, you don't really see, there's no effect in a way, like you can't really see if you're pressing it or not. So I definitely don't recommend you changing it to 0 completely. So what I usually do is maybe I change it to 0.3. 0.3 or 0.4 should be fine, because if you change it to 0.3 or 0.4, oh sorry, let me just go back. We don't want to save it as. So if we change to 0.3, now what you can see is that you can still see the background color, but not that much, which gives it like a nice color in a way, a light gray. And also you can see when you press, actually there's like you can see that the button is being pressed, which is quite good. So let's go on and do the same for the other button. So background. Okay, so we want to kind of like just keep the color white, right? Let's just correct that. So we want to keep it white and then just change the opacity. Okay, we can do the same here. Then we can change, so the color is white once again. Then change the opacity. Okay, so let's check our buttons. Yes, amazing. As you can see, we have our two buttons. Yes, and they are a bit light gray. Yeah, just a very light gray in color. Yeah, so once again, I will in future tutorials elaborate on how to create custom buttons and things like that. Yeah, so once again, if you are really learning a lot from these tutorials, please be sure to subscribe, comment as well, in terms of like what you'd like me to focus on. Once again, we're building all of this on our phone, so whether you have a laptop or not, you can definitely code wherever you are. yes, so that's pretty much it for today. See you guys next time.